Good evening, good evening, good evening. Here we go. Mr. Bergemeyer is unfortunately not here to open the meeting. Our wonderful president is delayed. He did email me and say that if and when he does arrive, he will have a very excellent, you can't sit there, horror story, because he's really good at horror stories, and we all know about how he manages those. Exactly. It's quite scary, frankly. Judith, would you sit over here, please? And Luke, would you, there we go, get our positions here. Welcome to SDMediaPros, the kickoff for 2014. I think we all need to take to heart the email marketing that is imminent in all of our futures. I'm very happy to have Judith with us tonight to manage that. Before we get to introducing Judith and before we talk about the facility that we're in, I'd like to go through a few of the pages on the website to show how we have come through the year and what's going on with that. So this is our website. I suppose you're all familiar with it to some degree at this point. Go ahead, click on the next one there. Twirl down here. So right off of our main page, you can go back to the previous tab. Right off of right here, you can get to the join page, okay? So you can go to our page, and then when you're updating your membership status, or if you're directing a friend to join, you can just show that that's how you get to it. It's kind of nice because it's all inside of our website. The next one there, click on that join. There's another one there. Now, Connie has helped me understand that San Diego is a very unique market. While there are a number of people that are still part of our organization, are truly what I might call traditional corporate video producers, a lot of us in San Diego are one-man bands and commercial advertisers and producing in a much wider range. And the advent of digital marketing is impacting us quite a bit at this point. So we're moving in that direction. But I would like to play this video, because I think one of the things that escapes new people, and we kind of have to continue to revisit that, is that what is MCAI? We gloss over that. We need to get down to the basics of what is our organization so we can appreciate what we have. There are some benefits, and you should go on the international website on occasion. So Luke, go ahead and play this video, and Peter, it's up, and go ahead and expand it. And let's just watch it. This is the international website.
MCAI is a community of professionals devoted to the art and business of media communications. Our members work in all areas of traditional and new media. And although the tools and technology may vary, we all strive for the same goals: to teach, to market, to motivate, to educate, and often to inspire. And MCAI supports its members in so many different ways.
This organization is always forward-looking.
MCAI allows my employees to grow.
Coming to the meetings gets my creative juices going.
Where you can network with other people.
I meet people from all over the country, all over the world.
There's an outreach to students.
I think people should join the organization because of the relationships.
Valuable relationships that pay off.
MCAI
is a connection place.
It's a whole network of people that have your back.
Whatever our industry segment, we seek to clarify through visual media the spirit, that emotional link which connects one human being with another. MCAI enables us to succeed in that endeavor.
My area of expertise is really in corporate video production and broadcast. But I've been able through MCAI to meet people on the internet side. I'm meeting people that are in technology development, all kinds of different aspects of the business and outside.
You get to meet people that are doing things with some new technologies you may not be familiar with.
From a business development standpoint, the organization helps me through creating relationships with people in MCAI.
And it means a lot of company exposure and personal exposure as well.
I found that getting involved is the best way to get things back from an organization.
The MCAI really has been an important part of professional growth.
I started with MCAI as a student, and through the years it's been great for my professional development, and it's helped me a lot in my career.
Our industry is always changing. When I come to an MCAI meeting, I find out who's doing what, how things are being done, and how our industry is changing.
Media professionals need to know that the MCAI is the organization in Atlanta. There's really no other organization like the MCAI.
You're able to see how video is now delivered differently than it was just a few years ago.
We've connected the dots from people who are looking for cameramen, looking for talent, so I don't have to recreate the wheel every time.
MCAI is a great organization, and you should join.
When I'm traveling out of town, it's always nice to know that there are other MCAI members that I can rely on.
It's a fun place to be.
As you've heard from some of our other members, there are many benefits to an MCAI membership.
Marketing, media convergence,
Recognition.
Community service.
Education.
They don't mean a thing if you don't join us.
So there it is, MCAI, a place to grow and network in our constantly evolving careers. Can you afford not to join us?
Very nice. I think that applause for people that aren't here to appreciate. Click to the next one there. I think one of the things that's interesting about watching that is if you do poke around on the international website, you will see that there are links for work, okay? Production Hub is the engine that drives your personal profile, okay? It takes some effort to get in there, but if you are a member, you have access to Production Hub. You use Production Hub and you create a profile, and if you do that, it's at least one more level of marketing. You're out there, and then if you need somebody, if you're looking for work, you can actually employ Production Hub through the MCAI. Okay, so there's an option to upgrade, but I mean, for Primetime Media Group, I produced a placard and logos, etc. It is another level to put yourself out there. Not a problem. Okay, so speaking of beautiful, let's expand this. This is a commercial that we put together to help promote SDMediaPros.
Being a member has never been better. San Diego Media Pros needs you now. We must increase membership. New opportunities available every day.
We're gonna
Members
have to play
experience
this again.
massive benefits. Networking, professional development, business discounts, production insurance, health insurance, and more. It's never been a better time to join. And it's fun, too. It's time to get your professional, social, and marketing house in order. Be an SD Media Pro. Go to sdmediapros.org and join today.
There you go, exactly, yeah. Go to the next, yeah, it was the editing. It's that new stutter filter, yeah. I just go, we have a couple socials a year, and we all look forward to those. Okay, let's take a look at the highlights from the last year. I think we have something to throw our chests out about. I think we did a great job last year. Let's take a look.
Let's get this party started.
You can be repitching something that is the same.
Today we're talking about pitching.
When does the pitching part end?
The biggest thing in pitching to a corporate client is getting their trust.
The first pillar is you have to have a strategy.
San Diego Media Pros was the first group I joined 8 years ago. This is a natural fit, so I've stayed involved with the group ever since.
Do I have your permission right now to take you just a little bit outside of your comfort zone.
We're going through the entire production process so that we can touch on all the different aspects that are relevant to filmmakers.
When we talk about film, everything, my whole sensibility comes from the background of somebody who started off in the theater.
We are the San Diego Media Pros. We make video for the web and for companies and for television, sometimes even for feature films.
And it can do Wi-Fi in addition to FTP and recorded footage.
And I wanted to bring that cinematic look to local broadcasts and our commercials and our image spots. In the few minutes that I have, I'm going to disassemble the camera. 422 if you're shooting ABC Intra, and also the DVC Pro.
As soon as an intern does something for a client, as soon as an intern does filing for you, that makes that unpaid internship illegal.
Putting a branch on a stand is referred to as a branchiloris. See the ambient light that's filling in there? Okay, and I'm going to kill the key for just a moment. This is the foundation of our shop. Thank you all for being here.
I've used every single one of the edit systems that is being showcased tonight.
It's a commercial. It's just supposed to look pretty, right?
I do corporate video, but I'm not a real big fan of corporate video, so I kind of had to
Yeah, just roll it.
So I can pretty quickly get to the beginning of a selected byte, mark in, mark out.
The idea was to bring editors in and give them all the same footage and see how different editors cut.
As a student, and trying to figure out what area it is I want to go into. So by being a part of SDMediaPros, I'm able to see all of that.
Marketing is an attitude, not a department.
I think the biggest thing we talked about is just recognizing who you are, what you stand for, what differentiates you.
The reality of it is, you are all salespeople, even if you don't like it.
We are, as an association, professional video people, and as a group, MCAI is an association to help all of us do better work.
Yeah, Tom. Very nice. Click the next one there. Isn't that fun? So let's just move along. Right here, oops, I don't want to push the button here. On the main website, if you were to click there, we're going to click up there because it'll take too long to load. Meeting videos are available. So this meeting video and all the wonderful things that Judith has to share with us tonight, we can disseminate to our membership. Click that. And then scroll down. There are older videos. These are meeting documentations. They're not sexy, but the content is there. This one right here, oh my God, this man, what a writer, and the stories that he had. It was a lot of fun. Keep going down. That's the video shootout that we did. This is a bunch of silliness we did at the summer social. But there's some interviews, actually. You get to know some of the members. The post-production meeting, the marketing meeting, lots of good information there, and that's about it. Let's change gears just a little bit. Is there, Peter, do we want to switch over her computer right now while I talk about a couple other things? Okay, while we do that, because now we're on to Judith's computer. If everybody looks over here, go back to that other slide briefly. Let's just go through it real quick. Okay, so here we are. Okay, this is where we are right now, right? Next meeting's one-man band. March is audio field production, et cetera, et cetera. You can read down the line there. We've got a very packed year of programs. So go to the other piece. Now, we're going to introduce all of the members of the board that are here tonight. And so go all the way up to the top. I'll read Mike, since he's not here. And so Michael Burgermeiser, he's the president. He starts each meeting with a production horror story. He promised me if and when he makes it here, he will have a very good production horror story, because that's why he's not here. Yeah. And he's very sadly proud that he has 2 years worth or more of horror stories to share with us. He is a one-man band. He's a director. He's won awards, contracts, etc. And he is going to be producing the February meeting on one-man bands and coordinating the Media Pro Camp, which is the beginning of April. And he is strictly a figurehead because that's what he said. I don't believe it. He's really helped make everything gel. And apparently he has a personal barista. I don't quite understand that. So go to the next one. This is me. I'm the vice president. I'm really not responsible for anything. Seriously, that's why I chose it. That's why I chose it. And yeah, that's why I chose it, because I'm going, just do whatever so anyway, so I had to make myself busy. I've been managing the website updates, producing the documentation videos, and helping scout locations. But my main job is art director and production manager for Primetime Media Group. We're a full service ad agency. And I'm also co-producing with Jeff Trober the optimized websites for professionals, media professionals, in, when is it going to be? May, okay? I've seen this along the way. Everybody needs to have a proper website, and there are some tips and tricks in terms of what should be on a media professional's website. So it'll all help us focus on that. So let's do the next one. And Joe, you're here. Joe, would you like to stand up here and share your new involvement? Joe Godfrey works at the Art Institute. Joe, introduce yourself to the group.
I work as little as possible at the Art Institute, but I do go there every day. So
into the light.
Into the light. Okay. So, well, I hate to just read what's up there. So I spent 35 years in the doing music and sound for advertising, corporate videos, some films. 10 years ago, I was on the Academy Awards. I was the bass player in a movie called Mighty Wind. I was the bass player for Mitch and Mickey, and yeah, really. And we played our song on the Academy Awards, and so it was next weekend, 10 years ago. So that was fun. But Tom and I are going to be doing the March meeting, which has to do with audio production and post-production, and we're going to try and get things right for the meeting. There's lots of things you can screw up in audio, like mic placement and clothing sounds and stuff. So we're going to try and give you some tips on how to fix it on the set so you're not spending so much time in post, but then, there are obviously some things in post that we need to cover too, so we'll try and do that. And I think that pretty well covers what's there. And my love is flying, and I have a Blanca Viking airplane that I keep at Palomar, and that's how I used to get back and forth from LA, but now I get there on the internet, so I just go fly for fun. So that's that.
Thank you, Joe. Next. Mr. Maisonneuve, would you introduce yourself to the group? Mark is new to the board this year.
Thank you. Newly minted treasure. I don't know if you caught that there. Shortchanging the membership. I don't know if you caught that there. Yes, he's a writer. That's true too. So, and I'm working on the lighting meeting, tentatively titled "How to Get Lit Up." So that's kind of what we're going with on the lighting seminar in July. There, I am the owner of Newhouse Creative Services, which is a one-man band, kind of a writer, producer, director, editor, and do some shooting as well. And I work as creative director for 8640 Productions, a consortium of a group of folks here in San Diego. We do a lot of business theater, traveling around the world, putting on meetings and events. So I do a little bit of that as well. So a lot of what I do is the creative end of that, and then executing on that. And this year I'll be throwing my hat into the ring along with the treasurer to take your money and provide us all with lavish spending accounts. That's my goal. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good thing that was recorded, so we know who to, in the indictment. Mr. Tao is not here. I'm sorry. I didn't know he was not going to make it. But He's been managing the sponsorship portion of our website and promotions, well, just read that. So there we go. It's like, let's see, something about New York accent. I know where you live. Okay. Next. Sorry, Mike, don't watch that back. Really, don't watch that back. Mr. Trober, he is co-producing the Optimizing Your Website for a Media Professional meeting in May. He has taken over the duties as webmaster, and apparently he speaks fluent geek, which I do as well, but try not to admit to. But what are you going to do? Jeff's not here. Tall, white-haired guy. He's a very lovable guy. Next. Augie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'd like Mary Ann to speak because we are doing a stunts and special effects, and for some reason I didn't get her profile, so I'd like her to talk instead.
I'm a writer, so I didn't send one in. My name is Mary Ann Bates. I'm in charge of memberships. So when you become a member, which camera? They're everywhere. So when you become a member, I'm the one who well, I don't process your paperwork, but I make sure that you're on the list when you come in. And as you see, there's lots of member benefits. Are there any first-time members here? Yay! If you'd like to stand up, and if you feel comfortable, you can tell a little about yourself. Hold on, we're going to take a little break.
This commercial break. Hi, I'm Robin Martin. I'm an internal web designer, video producer at Mission Federal Credit Union, also do some freelance editing and video production. And I came to a few meetings last year and liked the networking and the content and decided to pony up some dough and make it official.
And we have a pin for, we have new pins for members. We have your Lily pins. So as I mentioned, I'm a writer. I'm also a producer of a wellness show and a pyrotechnician. And I was an actress, but I like being behind the camera instead. And speaking of being a pyrotechnician, Augie and I are tag teaming it on producing the special effects and stunt show. And it was on the board as production effects, but it's special effects like bombs and things, fun things. And I don't know how I did 4, but I'm doing 4 meetings this year. The stunts and special effects, member showcase, the holiday party, and script writing and storyboarding. If any of you know an excellent script writer that has done some professional work, let me know, or storyboarding, or a good place to have the holiday party, just email me.
Oh, is Augie going to? Oh, I thought you were like trying to jump right past it. No, you can't, because Augie is responsible for pretty much everything else.
Everything else. So if you need anything done, just call me. Just saying. I'm the secretary and logistics for the San Diego Media Pros. I am a writer, a filmmaker, a producer. I specialize in short branding films, usually 30 seconds to 1 minute, and sometimes up to 3 minutes. And that is kind of what I do. And here I am at my favorite place with the Media Pros.
And the food tonight. And the food tonight.
Yes, she co-produced this meeting tonight. Next, who's else on the hit parade? Are we done? Is there anybody else here? That's it? Okay, good. Mr. Zizi, please step behind the microphone. Well, in the dark. Come on, you.
Let's get this done. I'm the marketing guy, and I'm working to expand awareness of San Diego Media Pros throughout the community to people that are not necessarily involved in media production, but they're involved in it, but they're not necessarily the doers. They're the people that need it and need to know who to turn to when they have a production. And also I am doing these videos, little short clips of our meetings. Tom and I, when we came on the board, as well as other board members, wanted to do more video because that's what we do. So we've made an effort to expand our video capabilities, and it's been, first year was good, second year is going to be much better. So glad you're all here.
You know, Tom, I'm going to thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Turn that light back on for just one more moment because I'm not going to let you off the hook yet. I want to know what your rig is here because you are a tried and true professional, and I want you to tell us what you are doing here because I want that.
So, I worked in television news for many years, and in television news you have those big shoulder-mounted cameras, and what is nice about a big shoulder-mounted camera is that once you mount that camera and it has all that space, like 1.5 feet of sidewall on the opposite side, you've got place to mount things, to put things, as well as the fact that you've got a basic camera that's pretty complete in itself. Well, liking the DSLR look and not having the kind of money to spend, $25,000 or $35,000 on a camera, similar to the broadcast camera that I used when I was shooting news, I found that I love the look of the DSLR image. So DSLR is short on audio capabilities. So what we have here is an outboard recorder that is sending a signal to the camera, and I won't get too technical about it, but there's ways to coordinate the. I thought we were a technical group. Well, I can, but I mean, the output is coming through a headphone out, which is also a line out, but that line level needs to be adjusted a little bit to really interface well with the cameras, because you're poking it into a little mini jack that is basically a microphone input, but there's all kinds of microphones in the world, so that one little jack with no adjustment is not going to work for you. So all the adjustments have to be made on the outside of the signal. The signal going into the camera is what it is, and there's no adjusting it at all. So, it's kind of it's been kind of challenging. A guy, Luke, came up and said, you got a lot of stuff hanging off of that camera. Well, it's a still camera, and so, yeah, you need to hang some stuff off of it if you're going to shoot professional video with it. And it's been a lot of trial and tribulation, and I've got it to where I work. I also have a backup. My audio is backed up on the recorder if I choose to do so, but I'm also monitoring my audio through the output jack. So the output of the recorder is doing a Y, and it's sending one signal to the camera and one signal to my headphones, because again, DSLR, this particular DSLR doesn't allow you to monitor your audio. And one thing I learned in news, and everybody should know, you want to monitor your audio. You don't want to be shooting something and not have somebody with headphones on that is listening to what's going on with the audio. So I just have to do that. I can't really even feel comfortable shooting unless I can hear my audio or have an audio man who is telling me I've got the signal. So that's basically it. In the room, when the lights go down, it gets a little dark, but I kind of like video. Again, having shot news, you get used to shooting in all kinds of environments. You don't have to have perfect lighting, but you learn how to make what little bit of lighting that you do have work for you. So that's what I'm doing.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Luke, would you like to introduce yourself and tell the folks what you do?
Okay, anybody that's gotten an email concerning the meetings or anything else, that comes from me. That's my job. Basically just keep everybody informed. When I'm not doing that, I'm typical one-man band here in town doing video production in general. And as of the first year, started a new company, Bomb Beach Bay Production, and we're going to be doing a sitcom. It appears for NBC. So that's about it.
Excellent. Very good. And Joe Castano? Is that did I get your last name? You know, we're all on first name basis, so it's kind of tough. Joe is new to the board as well, and he's taking on the programs boardship.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. What Tom's trying to say is, I think program director or whatever the name is, but basically I help coordinate each meeting. So I work with the person who's coordinating the meeting to help out. So I'm kind of like a PA for the coordinators. They call me director, so I'll take it. Well, anyway, and I'm producing or directing or coordinating whatever the NAB wrap up, where we get to show you all the new fun stuff that comes out in NAB, all the new toys, the new software, the new apps, whatever. We'll just do a quick wrap up of that, and in addition to that, we're going to show you a quick demo of some Blackmagic cameras.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving right along, I'm happy to have had an introduction for all the new board members. And now I'd like to introduce Peter Meisen from the Sim Center to help us better understand this wonderful facility we're in and what his mission is as well. Peter Meisen.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming. I am connected to this group in a familial way. 20 some odd years ago, this lady back here was in the video production world, Ashley Gardner. I saw her at one of these big, massive dances, and I said, Ashley, I need video production help. Now that was my way of getting into relationship with her originally, right? I lied, didn't I? But Ashley had a show on 739 at the time called San Diego Alive, and was the host and did some voiceover work. So I told her she ought to come back here tonight and share in this, because at some level I'm certainly connected to you and know several of your members. My work here, you did do that video. The old school way, you go sit in a booth, and you cut what do you cut digitally, or not cut even digitally? You once, yeah, it was hard. I moved on, and this work that I do now, and where you're at, is something called the World Resources Sim Center for short. Some of you know the name Buckminster Fuller, most well known for geodesic domes. Everybody's seen a geodesic dome in a playground, or the the dome that covers the South Pole, or the one in Montreal. So I'm even going to go back to that one in Montreal. Bucky was one of the geniuses of the last century, and really the original thinker and the founder of this whole concept of what you're in tonight. That he said we needed a place, we needed a venue to get together to work on, to grapple with the hard issues of our time. We got a lot of hard problems on our planet and locally, whether they be water right now, or energy, or transportation. Pick how many hard issues there are. There's a lot of them. So where do we go to get together, to convene, to surround ourselves in the trends of what got us to where we are today? So how do we better understand the history, to surround ourselves in that history, to better understand the projections going forward, so our decision makers, our business people, our policy makers can better see the future, because we have tough choices to make in terms of the cost, consequences, and benefits of those futures, and ultimately make more sustainable decisions quicker. Our mission is to visualize sustainable solutions to global and local problems, so we make more informed choices quicker. That's the reason we're here. And in 1967, Buckminster Fuller, if you've ever been to Montreal, there's the biggest dome in the world. 1967 International Trade Fairs in Montreal, still there, and has Environment Canada is moved in there. But the World Resource Sim Center was originally planned for that facility, 5 times the size of this, in 1967. Never got built because it was too forward-looking for the State Department. Didn't happen at his university, SIU in Illinois, at the time because of some politics. We picked up on this proposal about 6 years ago, and this is what we call our phase 4 version. We're thrilled where we're at. The Sim Center we're a nonprofit organization. We're thrilled to get here. It's clearly a unique facility in Southern California. I don't think any of you have been in something like this other than maybe a war room or mission control. This is designed to be a problem-solving space where you do immersive visualization and collaborative problem solving. All these laptops are connected to the computer that you see across the room, or the monitor that you see across the room, so you control the content. Instead of me standing up here and telling you what is important, you can, in real time, add content, and we all get smarter together faster. That's the nature of this place. So that's the Sim Center. And my other hat for 25 years is the Genie Initiative. I started on this work because I saw Bucky speak back in Oceanside. I grew up in Oceanside, was a graduate of UCSD, an engineering degree there. And he admonished us at the time to read this book called Critical Path. Most important book I'd ever read, and it said on page 206, the #1 strategy for the world from that question, and that question is the world game question, the opposite of war games. The world game question is, how do you provide a decent living standard for everybody on the planet in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without ecological damage or disadvantage to anyone? How do we provide a decent living standard for everybody in an environmentally sustainable way? The #1 strategy, the #1 answer to that is clean energy for everybody. You and I got plenty of energy, but it's not clean. Most of it's dirty. 1.5 billion people still have none and need some. So the answer to that is link renewables around the world. So scroll down a little bit, Jeff, on that. Linking renewables around the world has 4 enormous benefits. A simple statement. There you go. So those are the benefits. You link up renewables, you move off of fossil fuels, you get us out of this CO2 mess, this carbon dioxide, this climate change issue, move the world to renewables. There's plenty of renewables for everybody forever. You link it across borders. You now have a peace strategy. Walter Cronkite, when we got his endorsement, was probably one of the most proudest endorsements we've got. And he said, this is the most thoughtful strategy to peace he's ever seen. And we now have 7 Nobel Peace Prize laureates that have endorsed this. You bring electricity to people who have never had it before. You get them out of basic poverty. So this is a poverty reduction strategy. And you get them electricity, and it starts to put a downward pressure on population growth. That's the Genie Initiative. We still push it around the world. That's the website. It has 5,000 pages on it right now. It's an enormously rich, credible resource on how to accelerate the uptake of renewable resources around the world. So those are the 2 hats that I wear. I'm thrilled that you're here tonight, Tom. I'm glad we ran into each other. A good friend of ours, Sam Kephart, is now taken over the World Trade Center of San Diego, interim director, and ran into Tom. He actually did a video with me. I want to say it was back for the SHARE program. Wasn't it? It was a long time ago. Back when we didn't have gray hair. In another incarnation here in San Diego, Tom helped us do a video for something called the SHARE Resource, the Self-Help and Resource Exchange. And that's where we had originally met at Lightning Studios. So it's great to have you back here again. We do invite you to use this place for a reception. When we do our holiday receptions, there's fireplaces in the corner that are crackling and snow falling on every other video. And this place feels like Maine. Give me 30 minutes and we will talk about anything you want in this room. That's the nature of this space. Have a heart issue, give me a few minutes and we'll transform this room. And you'll see that in just a few minutes with Judith's presentation. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to share our work. Great to have you here. Tom?
Thank you, Peter. Excellent, excellent. Well, as we all know, digital technology is not going to go away. And as video professionals, I feel it's necessary for us to understand how to better promote our work. Whether you're looking to garner a new audience or you're looking for new customers, they're both the same thing, right? So with that in mind, I worked with Augie. Augie had a very good friend, Judith Ballion, and she is the owner-operator of Xcoveries, which is a email marketing company that uses Constant Contact for her customer base, and she services a number of different accounts. And I am very pleased to learn more about this vital part of my marketing, what I'm going to be doing, pretty much from now until I don't want to do it anymore, because the writing is all over the wall. We are going to have to do this. We are going to have to reach out to our customers in a professional fashion, and I want to learn how to do it. And Judith, I'm so happy you're here. Judith Ballion. Oops, you have a microphone.
Okay, I think I'm mic'd up here. So Peter, you're
Okay,
ready.
so we need your help a little bit. This is going to be an example of how this room is different than any other linear PowerPoint that you've ever used. So if you're on a laptop, it says it has a, if you're looking at a laptop, there's a button at the bottom that says constant contact. Would you hit that button that says constant contact? All of you, and we said we will see her presentation pop up. And so now what I want you to do is, if, for example, if you were on number 2, and I forgot your name over here. Sheldon, if you'll go to the top where it says under slideshow from current screen, what I want you to do is if you're on number 1 slide, I want to see the number 1 slide. If you're on number 2, we need to see the number 2 slide, and then all the way around the room. That make sense? Yep. All right, so has everybody done that? So her whole presentation, okay, number 4, we somehow lost that. I'll come over and help you. All right, I'll do that. So that'll come up. Don't see, on number 5 here, go ahead and click OK. Up, now click Escape at the top. Click on number 5. Just double click on number 5. There we go. And that should be 6, 7, 8 over here. This is, click over on the window. I'm going to say, did you click down here on the P? Did you do that on number 8? That's you. I don't know your name. Jordan. There we go. That's probably number 8 there. 9, and this should be number 10. Who's on number 10? That's right here. Could you click on, double click on number 10 right there? Oh, you know what? I will do that. I can fix that for you. And number 11 should be the last one. So I'm going to come over and help you on number 4. All right, and get that done. So this is now, instead of you losing a PowerPoint that's in a linear fashion where you go, I want to go back to screen number 3. Screen number 3 is going to stay. So this is a unique way of really incorporating the whole presentation all at one time. And we suggest you will retain more in this fashion than any other presentation you've had. That's a unique way of using this room. Judith,
I think I'm mic'd up here.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, this is certainly going to be a new experience for me. So I am so pleased to be here tonight with all of you. Thank you, Augie, for inviting me. Augie's not only my good friend, but we're collaborating on some marketing projects with several of my clients, the branding videos that she talks about. So let's see. Peter, is there a way to get it so it's not, so you actually...
Double click on, if you're on number 1 over here, just double click on the, scroll back up to this first slide. Just double click on number 1. I like this interactive. Or you can go right up above. You see where Michael says right above, do from current slide. Click on that. There you go.
Okay. I am a little bit about myself. I am a refugee from the corporate world, as I'm sure many of you are. I was in corporate sales and marketing for over 20 years, primarily in K-12 educational technology. But I got tired of the layoffs. I got tired of laying off people and being laid off myself. San Diego Tribune called us techno gypsies. I was kind of a techno gypsy. And so I decided in 2006 to step out of the corporate world and try it on my own. And I decided I would try marketing for small business, which I've been doing since 2006. Well, the first client that I had was a yoga studio, at the time a very small yoga studio in Encinitas. And as you know, if you've been to Encinitas and you know anything about yoga, there is a yoga studio. I mean, you can throw a rock from my house and probably hit 10 yoga studios. So we had marketing issues in front of us. And at the time, they had a list of about 200 people on their mailing list. And they were sending out their emails weekly or twice monthly from a laptop Macintosh in the office. They were sending it through Entourage. They could only send 30 emails at a time because that's all Entourage would let you send. There was no way to track who opened it or even who got it. There was no way to make it pretty. And there was no way to know how effective it had been. And it was taking up hours and hours and hours. This was 2006, and I thought there has got to be another way. So I got on the internet and started looking around, and I found an email system called Constant Contact and started using it and kind of fell in love with it. In fact, it's one of my favorite things to do for my clients. I do a lot of different things, not just email marketing for my clients, but email marketing is one of my favorite things to do. So I got involved with Constant Contact, and over the years I've set up, I have about 60 accounts now. Some of the people that I've just set up and other people that I actually do their emails for them once monthly. And while I'm going to talk, it's a disclaimer to tell you that I am a Constant Contact business partner. While I'm going to show you under the hood of Constant Contact tonight, a lot of what I'll be sharing is good practices for anybody that does email marketing. So I want to ask you, how many of you are currently using email marketing with your clients? Okay. Not too many people. How many of you maybe set up a trial account and then just never did anything? I assume you're curious about it or you wouldn't be here. Okay. Well, so let's talk about some of the reasons to use Constant Contact. So I'll draw your attention to screen number 2 over here. Well, one of the main reasons, and we might want to click, click the slide so it's out of the PowerPoint mode. Okay. Okay, so we're all on slide 2 here. Okay, so one of the main reasons to use it, besides the fact, Peter, that it's a green way of marketing, email marketing, and these are the Direct Marketing Association's statistics. It's about 1/20th the cost of direct mail, and it's more affordable than almost any other kind of marketing. Now, I think that 1/20th has to be a very conservative estimate, because if you've had any print materials created lately or tried to mail anything, you know how costly it is. The return on investment is higher than almost all internet marketing. Emails are highly customizable. 91% of internet users send and read email, and 72% of them, and I admit it, I'm one of those 72%, check their email 6 or more times a day. 6 or more times a day. I sit at my computer all day long, and when those messages come in, I'm checking it. So you're going right where your customers are, your potential customers and clients. So a few more quick stats about email marketing. 70% of people, and I wonder how many of you, have used a coupon from email marketing. Groupon or maybe a local retailer. So it's a very good way to get out special promotions. And they're also finding that it's the preferable way to receive promotions, not social media. I don't know if you've noticed that. Facebook, I'm not getting any traction when I try to do some promotion on Facebook. But what happens when people post pictures of their family or their grandkids or their vacation, they get all kinds of comments and likes, right? I get the most response when I post a picture of my 2 West Highland Terriers doing something cute. And I'll get 40 people that will comment on that, and 60 more that'll like it. But if I'm trying to promote something, it's kind of ho-hum. So people are really wanting to keep those social media sites social. And that's why email marketing works. It's also a push. You're pushing the information out there to your prospects, as opposed to trying to drive them to your website using other means. You're trying to pull them to your website by using other means. And it's measurable. When we start looking at the system, you'll see how you can actually look at the statistics and see how you've done, how effective your email marketing has been. I revised this PowerPoint a little bit, and we don't have the changes here, but I also want to point out that it's quick. It's very quick. Let's say you find out that you're going to have an event, or you need to put out a special promotion. Think about how long that would take you using traditional ways. You can have a nice email up and running in an hour, with some good content. So it's also very quick. I love that about it. So what's your goal? What would be your goal with email marketing?
More customers.
More customers. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Yeah. You also want to increase brand awareness, stay top of mind. So when that client's ready, they're thinking of your company. They're not thinking of somebody else's company that they got an email from the week before. You want to create that top of mind awareness. You also want to establish yourself as an expert. Bruce and I are involved in an endeavor where we are establishing ourselves as an expert for something that we're going out to the corporate world with. It's a workshop. And email marketing could be useful for that, where we're establishing, giving information that's valuable and establishing ourselves as the authorities in our field. Publicizing special offers, maybe rewarding loyal customers. It's a good reason to segment your list, so you've got your customers in one list and you've got your prospects in another. And the bottom line, as Tom said, to sell services. To sell services. So mainly, what your goal is to either inform or educate, announce, or promote. Those are the three reasons that you would be using email marketing. So let's talk about what makes people read emails. Why do you read emails? What makes you open an email?
Interesting subject line.
Interesting subject line. Boy, that's really important, isn't it?
No friends?
No friends. Put Luke on all of your mailing lists tonight, so you can feel loved. Pardon?
Who delivers it, who it's from.
Who it's from. Okay, that's interesting. We have found that if I send something out and I put my company name in it, it's not as likely to be opened if it's actually from a person. And even the big companies are doing that now. The automakers, when they send out emails, it's not from a company name, it's from a person's name, getting more personal. Why else do you read emails?
You're expecting something?
Expecting something.
See if there's something, a new product, something that might interest you.
Something that might interest you, new product.
Fill a gap.
Yeah. Information.
Education.
Education. Okay, there's something in that email that you want to know about. It's got an enticing subject line, so there's something in it for you, right? So if you don't take away anything, it's a basic tenet of marketing, whether it's email marketing or what, is it's not about us, it's about them and what's in it for them. So remember your audience. What do they want to know? What do they want to get from you? And that will be a tenet of what you're doing with email marketing. Okay, so I thought we'd take a look under the hood. And as I said, this is looking under the hood of Constant Contact. I'm sure that there are other programs, Direct Response, MailChimp, Vertical Response, Aweber. There are a lot of different systems out there. We're going to take a look, and many of the things that I'm going to talk about are applicable no matter what email marketing system that you use. But I'm going to show you how Constant Contact looks. And if you signed up for a free account, or you have a Constant Contact account, maybe you want to follow along. Okay, I'm going to switch to mine. Okay, how does that work? While Peter's doing that, tell me some of the things that you want to know about email marketing that you're curious about.
You said it's measurable.
Okay.
How? What?
Okay. I'm going to show you the screen where we can see statistics.
How can you design it with the right words that it doesn't pick up in spam filters?
Actually, Constant Contact has a spam checker that will actually check your email for spam before it goes out.
Does it give certain words, ratings, and percentages of what might be picked up?
I don't think it does that. There are certain things that you shouldn't do. For example, don't put a question mark or an exclamation mark in your subject line. Don't use all caps. That's another thing. Sometimes too many links. There are a whole series of things you can do to so it doesn't get picked up by the spam filters. Constant Contact, because it's a permission-based system, has 97% of their emails actually make it through the spam filters. They're actually delivered to inboxes, and that's a really high rate.
Can I click on your?
Sure.
Click on switch user or click on your?
No, just hit return.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You're in.
All right, we're in.
You're in too, Luke. Oh, I can't figure like. Okay.
There we go. Yes, yes, sir.
What are the laws about unsubscribe? They have to have an unsubscribe bar. What if people don't unsubscribe you? And sometimes I get these emails that say, please give us 10 days to get you off the list, and sometimes they never do, and sometimes they do right away.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's sent from offshore. Constant Contact doesn't allow any of that. There's always an unsubscribe button at the bottom, and then you can also have what's called a permission reminder at the top, where you give people the opportunity to unsubscribe right there, and I'm actually going to show you that.
But what is the law in the United States?
That's a good question. I don't know.
One thing to remember also, a lot of stuff comes from offshore. They don't follow our laws.
Right.
Where offshore?
Anywhere in the United States.
Anywhere,
Taiwan,
yeah.
Hong Kong, Russia.
Caribbean.
Right. Right. I think a lot of it was coming from the Caribbean for a while. That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah, Netherlands is a good one too, because they don't honor anybody's laws.
Who?
The Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands.
They don't even
Interesting.
honor their own laws.
Oh.
And Nairobi.
Nairobi, yeah.
A lot of piracy
Yeah.
stuff goes through Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Yeah, you get those things from the bank and the guy who's running the bank in Nairobi or whatever. Okay, so let's talk about your lists. I've been using Constant Contact for a while, and I have quite a few people. I have 1,419 people on my list. I have a segmented list because I do a couple of different things. I do marketing for small business, but I also facilitate classes to help people with their creativity based on a book called The Artist's Way. I've been doing that for about 5 years. I have information on that I can pass around too if you're interested. So I segment my lists. I have a creativity list and I have a marketing list because I really want to tailor my content to the people that will most benefit from it. Lists also, if you have any kind of an exit strategy to your business, as maybe retailers would. I don't know so much about MediaPros, whether or not you would actually at some point sell your business, but lists can actually add. It's actually an asset of your business. Think about it. Your client list. Well, you're not just your client list, but maybe your prospect list as well. If there were 2 bookstores, and one bookstore, you were considering buying a bookstore. One bookstore had an email list of 3,000 names. The other one didn't. Which one would you buy if everything else were the same, right? So email lists can actually add value to your business. You can upload. I don't know where most of you have your lists, whether you have it in just a regular email account, or maybe you have it in Salesforce, or you're using Act. But you can upload to most email systems using a comma-separated values file. So you'll want to export from what you're currently using into, you can save it out as an Excel file under a .csv, and then you can upload it directly to your list. I always upload first name, last name, and email address, not just email addresses. And the reason is I can make Constant Contact personalize that email. I can make it say, Dear Luke, Dear Augie, as opposed to just greetings. So it's just making it a little bit more personal all the time. Constant Contact and other systems as well can also help you keep your email lists up to date, and I'll show you how to do that. Once you've uploaded your lists, you can create a sign-up box for your website. It's just a little bit of HTML code that you can actually personalize with your colors, and pop that code right into your website, and you'll create a little sign-up box right there where people can sign up. You can also use some incentive. Maybe you've got some information that people want to use. I speak sometimes to the San Diego Inventors Forum group, and those folks, they're new at marketing. They don't know how to write an elevator speech from the get-go. So what I'll do to entice them to sign up for my mailing list, I'll give them the recipe I call it the recipe for the elevator speech. So you can actually do that on your website. Sign up for my newsletter and receive whatever it is, free information that they can use. All right. You'll also have a way to create an automatic response letter. So when you go to my website and you sign up for my newsletter, and I think a few people did, you should have gotten a little welcome email that tells a little bit about me, what I'm going to be sending you, and a promotion about my business. Let's talk about permission-based lists. Anybody know what that means? Luke.
Someone has to give their permission before they're allowed to be on that list.
Right,
So you
right.
can spam somebody who doesn't want your information.
Exactly. And that's the way Constant Contact works. I don't know how the other systems work, but you are supposed to have some kind of a relationship with the people on your list. Now, they could be past clients, could be someone you met at a networking meeting and they ask you for information. It could be that you went to a convention, a trade show, had a trade show booth, and people signed up there, they left you your card. You could consider that they are opting into your list. You don't want to be a spammer, and that's why Constant Contact gets 97% of their emails through the spam filters, is because they're really strict about permission. You upload your list and they say, do you have permission to use this, to add these people to your list? And you have to click yes before it'll add them to your list.
What if you buy a list and you're a prospect?
You can't, I don't know if you can with the other email servers, but you can't use it with Constant Contact.
Okay.
Yeah. Pardon?
You cannot buy a list and import it.
You cannot buy a list and import it into Constant Contact.
Why not?
Because they're, well, if you, okay, you could, yeah, it's terms and conditions, and also you probably, if you bought a list, you probably would get a lot of spam reports, because there's an option when somebody gets an email, they can report it as spam. So if I buy a list of 1,000 people and I upload it, and 15 people say this is spam, they're going to be calling me up and say, do it one more time and you're out of here, girlfriend. So, yeah. Now, I don't know about the other email providers. There may be some that you can buy the list and just upload it. I wouldn't want to do that.
Can you import from possibly your LinkedIn contacts and then segregate, make separate subcategories?
You could, but I think there's a danger that you'd be getting a lot of people that might consider that spam. I don't think you'd want to do that anyway. Because if you're going to use your own company's name and your name and send it out there, who wants to be labeled a spammer, right? It's just good practices.
Well, I think it's the luck of the draw. What if you want to buy a list and you want to prospect for new business? And so you need, an influx of, emails. So you want to target a certain list of, whether they're retailers, whether they're in this business segment. And
And undoubtedly, you're going to get, people who are going to opt out of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're going to have, it'll be pared down, but you're still going to have, useful email list. And maybe that, so I do see a benefit.
Well, and you certainly can do that, but you can't do it with constant contact. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Yeah, and I've found that, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to buy an email list. We tried to buy, my husband has a book called The Graduate Research Guidebook, and we were trying to buy email lists of people that were working on their dissertations. We went to colleges. It's often difficult to find a good email list to purchase. Maybe that's gotten better. I know it used to be hard.
It's better just to get people to opt in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to do that separately? I mean, or can you send out an initial email that says, would you like to be on my list? I want to send, I mean, are you allowed to do that? Or?
Not through Constant Contact, but you probably could through other servers. You just can't buy a list. I can't take your list and upload it. I have to swear on a stack of Bibles and everything else that I'm not taking someone else's list and using it. Even my clients, I've got access to their lists here. I can't grab Soul of Yoga's list, which I started and built the first 3 years. I can't take that list and upload that list to my own account and
So
use it.
It sounds like you need to be out there meeting people, collecting business cards in a normal networking environment, going to events, meeting people in the industry you're targeting as best you can, collect as many cards as you can, then you have somebody's business card.
That's
okay?
right.
Now you build your list in that way. Now these people will know who you are, maybe marginally, maybe a lot more, but now you're starting to build your clientele from a little bit more personal point of view.
Okay, you guys, you're all service providers. It's all about building relationships, isn't it? Isn't that what marketing really is building relationships? And that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
I think there's two.
It says 500,000 users. It says 650,000 emails a month. How can you do that just from meeting people at parties and stuff?
I think there's two things that we're talking about here. This is a way to stay in touch with people that you know and love and constantly contacting them, and hence the name. And then what you're talking about and what I've done before is an email blast, which is like Mailer's Haven. And you get a list of car stores that you want to send this to. They don't give you the list because they're the ones in constant contact spot now, and they have to have opt-in as well. So they won't give you the list, but they'll do the mailing for you for the $3,000 or $4,000 or whatever you want to spend. So that's an email blast. This is a constant contact with people and friends and loved ones and everything, and it sends all kinds of stuff.
Who has the email blast? What company does that?
Mailer's Haven?
How'd you find that to be effective?
No.
And that's where I speak from too, because it's more like you need to go to conventions, you need to be gregarious and collect cards and start building your, there's a little bit of old-fashioned marketing that has to happen no matter what. But keeping a connection so when they're ready to buy, you're there. That's what I think this is imperative. You've got to be able to continue to have a message out there, even if it's just quarterly, even if it's just something along those lines, so that you keep a message going to your customers, and then maybe you ask your customers, anybody else you might want to send a mail to.
Well, and I have some strategic partners that I do that with, who have, they're targeting the same market that I do, but with very different services. I can put information about her services in my email. She has a list of about 1,800 people. I have a list of 1,419. So I can put information about her services in my email. So you can double up that way using strategic partnerships. And we're going to talk about ways to build your list too.
So if we can start to grab some emails of people that are in our target market. However, now we have a tool to be able to actually send them a quality message with.
Right. And it's not going to be it's not the be all and end all. You know, there's no one way to market anymore. I tell my clients, much to their dismay sometimes, you got to do a lot of things. You got to do a lot of things today. Got to be out there. Were you going to say something, Luke?
Yeah, one thing I was going to say that I have done, because I use Constant Contact for a few things. Put a little paragraph at the end of an email. If you have a friend or a contact that could use this information, please forward this on.
Right.
And that way there you give someone that is giving you permission, he can pass it on to somebody he might know, and then that could possibly expand you that way.
Right. And they have forward to a friend buttons, and yeah, absolutely.
And that's legal as far as
If you do that, if you forwarded a constant contact email to a friend, does that friend automatically get sucked into a constant contact list?
No.
They would not see it. It
No.
goes from their computer out, never gets
Right.
back to the primary computer.
It would go from you to Augie. It wouldn't go back to, she wouldn't, if you had
Does it
a,
go through constant contact and now it's,
Actually, it does.
I mean, I would think it would be, I mean, I know.
Okay, if you have an email, say I send you one of our announcement emails, and then you forward that through Outlook to Marianne.
You got that.
She's not gonna get it. It's not gonna, Constant Contact's gonna block that. But if you go to the bottom where they have forward to a friend and click that button, then what that does is it tells Constant Contact, send an email to Marianne that came from you, from Mark.
But you now have Mary Ann's.
No, it does not put Marianne on the list.
Bruce, did you get the email I forwarded to you about this meeting tonight?
I did.
Okay, so I
Okay,
forwarded it
in some cases it will go through, but in most cases it won't.
because when I went to fill it out, I didn't have time to type in all that stuff. It's just easier to hit the forward.
you just forward it.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about how can you build your list? Well, by networking, also Constant Contact. This is something that I do for the San Diego Inventors Forum. I do their newsletter once a month. Augie and I are members of that group. You can actually, if you do trade shows or any kind of events, you can actually create a sign that has a QR code and a text to join code. And Dennis actually just tried this, and it works. Doesn't it, Dennis? Yep. you scan the code, it takes you right to a sign-up box, making it easy for people to sign up, or they can text to join. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. All right, so we've talked about lists, maybe kind of ad nauseum here, but anyway, let's look at emails. Okay, so I'm going to create an email. The first thing I want to know is what kind of layout do I want? I'm going to scroll down here. So there are some basic layouts here that you can see. There's the standard one with the standard newsletter look with the left column. You can also have a right column if you prefer that. You can have a newsletter that's one wide column. And by the way, it's all 600 pixels. So if you're designing headers, you're going to want to stick with 600 pixels. At least that's I don't know about the other emails. Or you can have two columns as well. So I went in today and well, let's look here. Okay, so let's see the featured ones. Let's look here and see what they. Okay, so they've got a Valentine's promotion, so that's kind of fun. So we can play with that for a minute. Keep in mind that all of the templates, probably for any of these systems, can be changed totally. I've even used one that's just because I like the layout of it, that was in Spanish, and changed it all into English and used that just because I like the way the template looked. All right, so I'm going to go back up here because I've been playing with this today.
Are you able
Just
to
so you know,
embed
anybody
video
that-
and audio into Constant Contact?
Insert audio?
Audio or video?
Yes, and I'm going to show you that.
Anybody that wants to, that's in a laptop that knows your Constant Contact, you could log in and do this right now. So that's what you can also, if you've got an account, you want to do this live, that's what this room is about as well.
Mhm.
I'm happy to do that on right now on number 1 and 10. I'm following find I learn better by doing than just listening.
Okay. So this is that email template that I just looked at. It's going to come up here. So when I choose an email template, Constant Contact automatically throws some things into it. And there's an old logo that I had that I really ought to change. Everything is in blocks, so you're working on one block at a time. I think most of these work like this. If you've ever created a website from like a network solutions template or one of those, it works very similar. So I don't want that big logo there. That's ugly. I'm going to get rid of that. And I can just simply, there are different things that I can do with the block. I can move it. I can edit it. I can copy it if I wanted to, or I could delete it. And I'm just going to simply delete it. Very good question. With other emails, it can range from anything from free, and sometimes you get what you pay for with some of the other systems. Constant Contact's base fee is $15 a month for up to 500 contacts. I always ask people to get the additional image library option, which is another $5 a month, because that allows you to have almost unlimited images. And if you're doing something, probably you're going to want nice pictures in your logo's going to be one. Maybe a picture of your facility might be another one, or I don't know what it might be. Your widget might be a third. So you can use up the 5 images that they give you very quickly. So I always encourage people to pay the extra $5 and get the added images.
That's per month, so it's 20 a month?
So it's 20 a month. Yeah, it's 20 a month. For unlimited emails. Unlimited emails, yeah. Of course, how often do you want to send? For most people, once a month is good. And people, if you really, once a month for maybe a newsletter and then a second blast that you might send out there for an event, I think that's probably plenty. And quarterly is also good.
Okay, this is actually a question that has come up at more board meetings than I would want to try to remember. One side says we don't want to send too many emails, we don't want to spam people. One argument on that side is another group in town sends 1 email a month and they're doing fine. With us, we try to send out something once a week. Is there any sort of an industry standard balance there, or is there anything like that? What is too much?
I would think 3 times a month would be too much. I would think that. Like I said, I do the San Diego Inventors Forum, so it's an organization rather like you guys, and I do that once a month. Sometimes I send out an extra if we have extra information, maybe in a special Shark Tank event in San Diego or something that came out. I might send out an email about that, and I call it an extra.
Let's move on to the templates.
Okay, all right. So we're going to log back in. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this, hopefully. Yes, delete that. It's gone, yay. Okay, I don't like roses. Got a little itchy with my trigger finger here. I don't like roses, so actually I do like roses, but I'm going to get rid of it anyway. Okay, so I'm simply going to go to the email. They've already put that in there for me, but I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to upload another image. So I go to my image library. And I've actually already got some Valentine images in here. This is actually from a Valentine newsletter I did last year that got a pretty good open rate, actually. So I'm going to take my old header, and I'm simply going to insert it. Actually, I want to...
Was this one you made or one that was supplied by Constant Contact?
This is one I made in Photoshop. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, I can modify this. It's going to let me, yeah. It's going to let me put the 600. I could make a clickable link to my website if I wanted to. I always have to start it with http://
Or you can't just start off with www?
Nope.
Now when you're doing this kind of stuff, it's got to be the whole thing.
Right. Okay, and then I can insert it. And there it is. I save it out. Okay, I don't like this one. I'm just going to get rid of this.
So if they click on that, that links to your website?
If they,
what you just did.
right. If they clicked on that, it would link to my website. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, you see over here, backgrounds? You can change all the colors. Virtually any color can be changed. I don't like that left column background, so I'm going to go here. Maybe I've created the header in Photoshop, and I want to go in. I did create the header in Photoshop. Maybe I want to go in and pick up that red in the heart.
Can you take it off and use a color picker?
In Photoshop, yeah. You can't do it in this system, but you can do it in Photoshop. So what you want to look for is your hex number. You guys know about hex numbers? It's the 6 digits. It's a combination of letters and numbers. So you can pick up, and that's how I do it sometimes. I go into Photoshop, find out exactly the hex color I want, and then insert it there. So this is where I would insert it. Okay. Right there. So, and I could also use their, sorry, I'm not used to the touchpad with this. But anyway, that's where you would change the color. Okay, so then you can also, let's see. You can also change the fonts over here. And they have a lot more fonts than they used to. It used to be just Arial and Verdana, and now they have even that awful papyrus font that all my clients want to use and I hate. But anyway, so you can change all of that over here. You can change the color of the font, and it'll universally move it around in the email. You notice over here, you've got Dear Contact First Name. I think it defaults to greetings. If you wanted to change something, if you know HTML and you're brave, you can actually get into the HTML code for each block right here. So if you wanted to change it, you could right there. I think it defaults to greetings. You can screw it up, but it won't let you, sometimes you get parsing error. So there are some safeguards to keep you from screwing it up. Okay, so I want to go just for a second out to, I want to get a little code here because you asked me about,
One of the most important things for me, I mean, we can all figure out how to make the newsletter graphically, probably. It's the keeping track of the open rates and the campaigns and the fact that and how to use it as a tool.
Okay.
I think we can
Okay.
make it pretty.
Okay, let me just I do want to show you though about a video link.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all you have to do, it won't embed your video. It has to be a YouTube or is it called Vimeo?
It has to be posted somewhere else.
Yeah, it has to be hosted somewhere else. Okay.
You can't embed it with audio either.
I think if you go to YouTube and you click on the embed link, you could drop in the HTML.
No. You have to.
Embed the link.
You can't.
YouTube, but you cannot embed a video in that constant.
You can't see the picture.
So
You
the
do-
person would have to click on the link and
Okay.
go to the video, right?
All right, let me show you what you see. Okay, just a second. You guys are actually a really good audience. These are good questions.
Now, does Constant Contact
That's-
still do the free
Yeah,
classes?
businesses
They
still
used
need
to
to
do
sit around
free
for
classes.
They do free classes.
Sign up with
Okay.
them and they will teach you how to do it.
They will. Okay, let's see. Webinars, yeah. Okay.
I used to do a quarterly newsletter that I mailed out by myself without keeping track of any of this. I never knew who opened it, but the most important thing is to make your content interesting and relevant to the people so that they will read it and retain it and keep it and refer to it.
Okay, you want to see the video link? Okay. You cannot embed a video in Constant Contact. You cannot put it in HTML like you can in Dreamweaver or WordPress. You can't do that. What you can do is have the link to put the link in to the YouTube or the Vimeo. You have to host it. It takes you right there.
That's not horrible, though. I mean, it takes you to your YouTube page.
It takes you to YouTube page.
Which is an opportunity to pull people in to see more things on your YouTube page.
Mhm.
And it puts up a nice still frame.
Right. Okay. All right, so we'll stop that.
A minute ago, when you first found the link,
Mhm.
there was a still frame there with some text on it.
Mhm.
Where did that still frame come from?
From YouTube. This is actually a video my husband posted. It's kind of a long story, but that was actually the from the YouTube. So it's going to be your first screen in your YouTube video. Yeah, your thumbnail. Okay.
But the reason why I asked is because it's not the first frame. That's kind of why I asked. It wasn't the first frame.
Oh, no. And now on YouTube, you can create a custom thumbnail.
Okay. Okay. I don't use YouTube with my clients a lot, so you guys probably know better than I do about that.
But part of that is to prevent the spam thing to go off. If you put a video in your email, that's a spam flag. So that's part of why the beauty of Constant Contact is that you're whitelisted. It'll go through. It's more likely that your email will go through and you can see whether or not it's gone through, whether it's been picked up. But again, if you send too many out with that bounce back, then Constant Contact will say, hey, you're out of here. You can't use it for that.
Okay, I think it was Connie that wanted to know about the reports. So I'm going to show you a newsletter that I sent out writing in the new year. It was about starting a journal practice for the new year. So I created this little email, and I just showed it to you. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to look at my stats. By the way, what's a good open rate?
30%.
30% is a pretty good open rate. The industry average is actually 14.9. Constant Contact says theirs is 19+%. So you're an organization, so okay, let me get this. Okay, so I've sent this. Okay, I didn't send it to my whole list. I sent it to 971 because I segment my list. 320 people opened it. I had 64 bounces. Why is that important? I can go right to that bounce list, and I look down that bounce list, especially if I have entered first name and last name, and I can see, Marty Kookie was one of my workshop participants. I don't have her correct email address. She must have changed jobs. So I've got an excuse to go out there and call her, and I'm updating my email list that way. So that's why the bounce list is important. You can also see, maybe you typed in, I know at the yoga studio, I looked down the email list, you typed in Brenda Smith at yaho.com. So you can see where there are any misspellings. So then I can go down further. These are the lists that I sent it to. I can see the unique click-throughs. Who clicked through to my website? Nobody clicked through to learn about me. I guess nobody cared. 9 people were interested in my classes. 15 people were interested in a day-long retreat we're holding in February.
And these were parts of the email?
these were all places in the email where I had specific links. I had links to the information on the retreat. I had links to information on my Artist Way classes, and I can see how many people clicked through. Not only that, but I can see who they are. I can go right here. So it's a little voyeuristic, but sometimes when I show this feature to clients, they go, ooh. But
Well, you might want to market those people and say, if you
that's
like
exactly
that, you might
right.
like that.
That's exactly right. So I can see that Lola Taylor, who took my Artist Way class a few years ago, is interested in that retreat.
Show the date.
It shows the dates. It also, will you notice, it also shows the times. So Constant Contact tells people generally that you want to send emails between Tuesday and Thursday. Probably not first thing in the morning, because then you're going to get with all the spam. You might want to test your own emails and look and see, when are those folks opening it? You know, if you've got some night owls, maybe people are opening it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you want to send your emails at midnight. But that's another way that you can check that out. Okay? So yeah, it's a little, you can really find out a lot about people there. You can also see who unsubscribes. I have to go back in this way because when I go back, it doesn't take me to the right screen. You can also see who unsubscribes. If they unsubscribe, you cannot add them back yourself. The only way that they can subscribe is to opt back in by going to your website. Or if they get a different email address, you can enter them that way.
Well, you have their email address, so you could send them just a regular email.
You can, yeah. And I've even done that.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I've even done that. A couple of people, because I know, they don't get invited to the annual event that I have, and somebody's unsubscribed. Dear Marilyn, I'm forwarding you this email because I know you unsubscribed, but I know you want to come. So I've certainly done that. All right, does that answer your question? Okay, so I had a 15% click-through. I had, let's see, a 35.3% open rate. That's because my list is people that are interested in what I have, and I'm offering something that they can use.
How many were sent out?
971. Yeah. Well, I'd have to go back and take a look at that. With this one, I don't know yet because the retreat's still ongoing. I have, I want to go on to why I use Constant Contact just very quickly because Tom's telling me I'm out of time, but I love the questions. Constant Contact has 500,000 users. That's way more than any of the other systems. It's got a higher open rate. I just talked to you about that. It's user-friendly. It has some social media integration options that I don't have time to show you. It also has a survey and event option. It has an invitation, and it also has a survey. It works kind of like SurveyMonkey, if you've ever used SurveyMonkey. So you've got your own email lists right there, and you can do your survey right in Constant Contact. All right. I have a special offer for San Diego Media Pros. I think we send it out. I will create if you sign up for Constant Contact through my website, I will create a banner for you like I did for Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And I have, I also have a special, if you want the whole 9 yards, if you want me to set you up, load your list and all of that, I will offer a $200 discount to San Diego Media Pros. So I'll give you that if you're interested, information on that if you're interested. I have a neat gift to give away, and keeping in my Valentine theme, behind the computer is the little gift. This is where you put your business cards, or I have some little cards if you don't have a business card with you. I'm giving away, I found a 32 gigabyte, figured all you guys could use the 32 gigabyte thumb drive, right? And this cute, I love this cute little thing. It's a little Velcro thing. It holds 2 thumbnail drives, and you can hook it right onto your keychain. So anyway, special gift for you. And I'd love to work with you on Constant Contact. It's one of my favorite things to do. So thank you very much.
This is
cards. I'm the collector. Business cards.
Let's see who wins the Valentine. Of course, you know you're signing up for my email, right? You're signing up for my marketing email.
I put my card in there too.
Okay, we've got here. Here you go. Put it in so it'll be the same. See the same size. Anybody else need a card?
Fill it out there. Just scratch something on it. We'll know it's yours because it's the only one in there. There we go.
Okay. I'm gonna let somebody draw it, Tom.
Okay, Peter, come over here. Our host. Stick your hand in this wonderfully pink bag. Oh, wait, one more card. One more card. There we go. Anybody else? Okay. Let's put another one in.
It's like content. Choose something people really want.
His finger has no feeling whatsoever, so you can't tell if it was not mine. So it's Marty Crane.
Ah, she's a winner.
Chicken dinner woman.
Congratulations.
And I'll put her card back in there because
Okay, very good.
Judith has some legitimate constant contact. Marketing.
I'm growing my list.
There you go. Good. Well, a big round of applause for Judith. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much. What I saw in this was for $20 a month, it's a way to focus your attack, whatever it may be, and at least it starts to chronicle it. So, however, whatever it takes to roll that boulder forward, you'll be able to keep it going in this. I think. And I've just recently started using another online. I feel like I'm working in the cloud doing our email banner work now. So this makes sense to me. It's a way to keep things going and moving forward with our marketing efforts to get more customers and grow our audience. I think that's it. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I feel so much smarter. Thank you, Judith.
Thank you. Great group. Thank you.
Good night. Oh, thank you, Peter. There's still food. There's still drink, depending on how much you want to pay.